You're not supposed to look around in Juma. Do it after Juma. But I can do it now. I can see all of you. I can see the light that cannot be extinguished. And just as the light of truth cannot be extinguished by falsehood, the light within your heart cannot be extinguished by falsehood. And the light in your heart that reflects on your face cannot be extinguished by falsehood. And we have to understand that. And then that light that you possess, brothers and sisters, this is the light you have to take out into the world. This is the light you have to take out into the world, because this world is dark. There was a popular song, some of you are old enough to remember, Slipping into Darkness. That they've already slipped into darkness. Look at the nature of discourse, the vileness, the lack of civility, just to discuss things. Look at the way people treat each other. Look at the lack of manners. Just simple things, but simple things tell us about big things. Simple things tell us about big things. And the simple things that define the life of a Muslim, they tell us about big things. When a sister can, out of her love for her Lord and her longing for his punishment and fear of his, or longing for his paradise and fear of his punishment, can say, I'm wearing my hijab and I don't care. That might be a small thing, but it says something big. It says that faith is still operative in this world, not just as an intellectual construct, but as a force that moves human beings to defy odds, to defy unimaginable odds. And this is a force that changes the direction of nations. And we say that unabashedly. And if someone would say, Muslim leader says nation's course should be altered, I would say, if you say anything to the contrary, you're crazy. If you say something to the contrary, you've sold your soul to the corporations. When our political system cannot work for the interest of the people without first considering the corporate interests that are articulated by the legions of lobbyists in our nation and state capitals, something is wrong. When we have a nation that leads the world in incarceration and new ways to incarcerate innocent people are being devised so privatized prisons can profit by the incarceration of those people, something is wrong. This is what's happening in Arizona. They don't tell you Jan Brewer, who signed the decree to criminalize any person with brown skin, is on the board of one of the privatized prisons that's building the prison to detain the people that her decree has criminalized. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. And we could go on, but the point is, if we cannot feel free in the light of all of the, when we have this problem in Mexico, where thousands of innocent people are being killed, in these drug wars that are being fought to satiate the demand of the drug addicts in America, something is wrong. Something is wrong with the people who are craving for the drugs. Something is wrong with the government that puts the policies in place to not deal with the problem, but to deal with the symptoms of the problem in ways that are profitable to particular interests who are capable of manipulating the system to advance their interest. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. And we're not the first people to say it in conclusion. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., over 50 years ago, you know what his sermon was going to be the Sunday after he was killed? The title of that sermon was Why America May Go to Hell. And he wasn't going to preach that sermon out of hate for his country. He loved his country. He believed in his country. And that's why he was marching in the street, because he was confident that the good people would make the Constitution more than black on white, more than words on paper, ink on paper, would make it a living document that would honor and respect the rights of every single person in this country. He believed that in the depths of his heart. He believed in the potential goodness of America. But a life of struggle, and a life of hardship, and a life confronting the pernicious evil of racism had made him pessimistic, had jaded his heart. And so when we say these things, we're not saying these things out of hate. We're saying these things out of love. We're saying these things out of hope. And a Muslim heart never becomes jaded. We always believe as long as Allah subhanahu